Hi everyone, and it's me again, and I'm with the lovely Fiona Shoults. And this is a very happy day for me because I haven't seen Fiona for quite a while. And the first time I met her, I was enthralled because I thought, what a beautiful woman, beautiful woman. And at that time, I didn't know why, because I'm sure you'll find the same thing. Fiona does exude a warmth and a genuine caring and nurturing of people. So I immediately, when I met her, felt loved and felt valued. So, and let me explain to you then why I've invited Fiona to speak with us today. Hi, Fiona, it's lovely to see you. Fiona, I met at a business network, and she was there with her business, which I'll get her to talk to you about because it's intriguing. It's a very unusual story, and I'm inviting her today because as an outcome of one of the groups she's been working with in that business, which is an unusual one. It's not unusual, but and the way that Fiona works is unusual and very special. There's been an outcome, which is this lovely book that she's written, and we'll talk about that as well. So, welcome, Fiona.
Hello, thank you very much for inviting me on. Very exciting.
Yeah, it's lovely. I can see you in your office there and your clinic. So yes, microblading. So you had a career in financial services, and then you went into microblading and the beauty aspect. Can you tell us a little bit about that and where it led you, please?
Yeah, so for 26 years I was working in finance, so this is completely different. I mean, I didn't even wear makeup, so not particularly. But when I was 32, so 18 years ago, I had breast cancer. And since then I always wanted to give back, but I didn't know how, apart from doing, bring and buy sales and cake bakes and stuff like that. But I wanted to do more. Anyway, I stopped working and had my baby, which took 7 IVF, so it was quite a journey. And I didn't want to go back into finance, but I didn't know what to do. So we were getting married, and I went off to get my eyebrows done because when I had my chemotherapy, I lost my brows and my fingernails and my eyelashes and everything. So I went off to make them. Yeah, it was horrible.
No, that.
When I was having my eyebrows done, the lady had a little sign on the wall saying, "Would you like to train in microblading?" And that was my light bulb moment. I just thought, yeah, I can help, because if you have your eyebrows done before your chemotherapy, then you don't have that transition period of looking a bit odd and lost. And so I started with microblading. I don't actually do much microblading now. It's not great for your skin, which I didn't realise at the time. So I use a tattoo gun instead. But my ultimate goal was to be able to complete ladies who'd had full mastectomies and reconstruction, because although they have their breasts back, they don't have any areola, generally. So yeah, I now do that. I'm always out here nippling, as people call it, or tattooing. And
I think
for nippling or tattooing.
The very first time I met you, or the second time perhaps, you brought these demonstration pieces, pieces that you'd worked on as examples. Like we were all these little flat little squares with nipples on them all around the room.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people who have not had that type of cancer or that type of treatment would even think it's a thing, and would certainly very rarely have any experience of seeing what that kind of a tattoo can look like and how realistic it is. So, you are unusual in that way, as well as your personality and your demeanour, which is and funny. Yeah. So
in addition, sorry.
No, I was just going to say.
In addition to that, so I can now, if I do the areola, but they have lots of scars as well, so I can now work on the scars. And sometimes if their breasts are redone from their tummy, they have stretch marks, so I can work on the stretch marks and the scars and the areola, and get it looking as normal as you can.
Okay. So if you have skin taken from your tummy to create that breast, then you have obviously scarring there, but it's not like a slice across, is it? Then do they have scarring around that?
Yeah, it almost looks like an eye shape, and it's very white, But if it's come from the tummy, you can have stretch marks and other nasties that you might have had down there. Yeah,
yeah.
so we can work on that as well as the
Oh, I
scarring
see.
around it.
Yeah.
So,
So it's an
yeah,
education. It's a very much an
it is.
education,
It has
very
been,
important conversation. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I love it. So much goes on in here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, it must be
therapy.
very emotional at times,
Yes,
with
it can
joy
be.
as well as sadness. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the ladies that come in, I work with their mind as well when they're here. So I take them on a little bit of a journey. I'm not sure if they know that's happening, but I do try. So I'm putting positive thoughts into their mind the whole time around their new artwork and their baby birthdays. So that when
Oh,
they leave, they're very, very positive about it and themselves. Because so many women are like, "Oh, I'm so lucky because I only had this cancer." Or, I'm so no,
yeah.
you're not. You're not lucky. And
Mm,
it's trying to make them feel how important they are and how special they are. And I feel that's my main part of my job in here, apart from the aesthetic side of it, is
yeah.
making them feel loved and important. And many women haven't looked at themselves in the mirror since they've had it done. So that could be
Yeah.
10, 15 years and they've not looked at themselves.
Oh,
So I've got a massive mirror just here and they're like, they won't look at all. So you have a little hand mirror and then they get up and run at the mirror.
oh.
But it's amazing, the transformation in their mind and their own views as well, not just aesthetically. So I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, it's
Very
tremendous, isn't it? Tremendous. It's life changing what you're doing. When you
yeah.
started off, obviously you were just thinking of eyebrows and the actual initial
Yeah.
facial part, which greets the
Yeah.
public. But it's a very personal thing. What else has happened and traumas that have happened to your body in that situation. So, and from
Totally.
personal experience, so you've had first-hand experience at going through this. So it's
Yeah, so you've got the scars and personally they don't bother me. You know, my body's what I've been through. It's a journey and a story. But
mm,
not everyone's like that. I've just kind of pushed it away and cracked on. But it affects
yeah.
people in very, very different ways. Very different ways. So
And you went
yeah, to
on
be
to
able
have
to
a
put
lovely baby. You have a daughter.
yeah. Yeah, she was 8 last week, so had a
Oh,
busy morning. We've been to see the real Father Christmas this morning.
oh.
She knows he's real because his beard doesn't peel off, so she gave it a good tug just
Really?
to make sure
Yes, it's
it's
Christmas time.
definitely a real one.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So,
Christmas time. It's a time for families and for snuggling down into uh, approaching winter. So it's
yeah,
quite a
absolutely.
cozy time. Yeah, that's lovely. It's a good turnout for your personal story and to help other women.
Mm.
So, what? Tell me about this group that you run, the Booby
Oh,
Bunch.
the baby brunch.
Not the
Yeah,
Booby
so
Bunch, the Booby Brunch. So I presume you eat and
booby brunch. Yeah,
have a meeting over
the
lunch.
booby brunch. Yeah, well, we meet about 10 o'clock, I think it is in the morning. But yeah, it's a Facebook group, and we meet once a month in Raynham in a little cafe called TikToks.
Oh,
And it's open to anybody that's had breast cancer, male or female, and whenever their diagnosis was. Is
mm,
say I had cancer 18, 19 years ago now actually, and there weren't any groups around.
no.
And there were loads before lockdown. There were quite a few. I used to help out with some Macmillan ones, but over COVID they stopped obviously, and they haven't started again. So I just thought, no, I'll do it myself. That's it. So I started it up with one of my friends, Rachel Chapman, and it's been going since May, and we've got about 54 people I think have joined so far.
Wow.
We don't all meet together. It's normally about 6 to 8 people come along each month,
Yeah.
but generally we have a new lady in there, so which is nice.
Yeah,
And
because
they come when they need it.
a growing population of people, of
Yeah,
women,
yeah,
men and women, because I think men are timid about talking about that side of things because we will talk.
yes,
Men aren't going to talk to each other.
no.
So
A lot of
this,
men feel quite ashamed and embarrassed to have breast cancer.
yeah,
But yeah, so they need to be welcomed as well. So they are welcome to join the group as well.
yeah. Oh, that's
I'd quite
good.
like to see that company in there.
It's good to have a different perspective, isn't it? And to realise that it is across the board, really. So that's amazing. So what happened about this authorship then? I gathered that there were quite a few of you writing books. That's fascinating
Yes,
story because I gather
they
they were
were.
all about breast augmentation.
No, not at all. No, years ago when I first met my husband, I bought him this crocodile, one of the Roald Dahl crocodiles,
Oh
and
yeah.
he's kind of travelled the world with us. He's
Oh,
pretty battered. He's met lots of actors and footballers, and but I took him and thought I'd write a book about him. But it was lockdown, so I joined a writing group, really just to have a glass of wine and a chat. And then when Karen turned around and said, "Right, Fiona, we're going to read your book, what you've done next week. Is that all right?" And I was like, "I haven't even started it."
really?
So I was like, okay. So I spoke to my daughter and said, "What's the crocodile going to do?" So she gave me a few ideas, and I just sat and wrote. And once I started, because it's written in rhyme, it just kept going.
Oh,
So yeah, it was really good, really good. And writing like that in a group is so good, because you get bits that you're stuck on, that you make them sound right in your own head because you've written them, but you know they're not really. So if you've got 6 other people or 5 other people sort of, like, "Oh, what about that? What about turning it that way?" And yeah, and that's how it progressed. It was brilliant. And we all launched at the same time as well, which was really good fun.
oh, so that's a collective effort, but not into one book, but in several books. What other
So
kind of books were there then?
there was, well, mine's a picture book for younger children written in rhyme. And then Beverly wrote a children's book, but more of a chapter book about her dogs. So she turned them into little characters. That was really funny. There was there were 2 novels and a factual book about self-love and self-love journeys, that sort of thing. But yeah, it was really interesting. Very different types of books, different
Yeah,
genres.
yeah,
It
that's
was good fun, but to listen to those as well. Yeah.
It's amazing how creativity also is a healer, isn't it? And
Yeah,
help you to take your mind off your
it,
issues, but help you
absolutely.
go to deeper levels where you were. But also, I find it's freeing, because when we're children, we're very creative and we can lose ourselves in our imagination. And yeah,
Oh, I
so
definitely did that.
yeah, yeah,
It was good fun. It was really good fun. And then,
yeah.
yeah.
Right. So let's have a little look at your book then. Do you have it with you? I
Here
think
it
you
comes.
do.
Ready? Here
Yeah.
he is.
Okay. Oh, he's so cute. He looks a bit like a dinosaur crocodile, which they
He is a
are.
little bit.
They are.
Yeah, so yeah, he's quite cute. But
And
I don't know if
what's it called? Croc-Tales.
Croc-Tales. Yeah, Croc-Tales. Crack goes the egg.
It has to be something that comes from you. It has to be therapeutic for you, as well as having a purpose. But I think we all need purpose away from our work. And where your work is quite emotional and supportive, and you're always giving, it would be nice to be able to just dive into your inner self and create from that and see some reward as a product of that. So
I'd love to do another one.
yeah.
So this year, yeah, the last 18 months have been quite busy on the tattooing side, trying to get the medical side sort of change in direction away from more beauty to medical.
Yeah.
So yeah, once that's sort of up and running, which is going quite well at the moment, then yeah, maybe book 2 is on its way.
And yeah, it's interesting what I just think it's a relief from your daily life. So if you can find a couple of hours a week or a fortnight to just indulge, and your daughter would love it.
Yeah, she does. She was very proud when I went to the school to read it to all the kids. And
yes, that is so wonderful. The thing is, this is an heirloom, isn't it? It's something.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Grandchildren as well later, so they know who you are, what you've achieved, and that aspect will draw them in. Okay, well, all the details will be put into the package here, along with the video of this recording, and that will be on usually on YouTube, but it will go out on social media too. So, what's your best email or address to find you? Where would they find you?
My email address is FionaShoults@yahoo.com.
Okay.
You're going to put that underneath anyway.
But that's Shoults, the SHOULTS.
Absolutely, yes. So FionaShoults@yahoo.com.
Yahoo.
Yeah. Or on social media. You can find me on social media and message me there if they want a copy.
Yes. Whereabouts in Kent are you, if people want to?
I'm in Rainham.
So that's Newington, near Rainham in Kent. Yeah. Brilliant. So I think you might also get some people interested in the other work that you do with the reconstruction and the tattooing. So I hope this raises awareness, because it's so
That would be
important.
lovely.
Yeah, and I do recommend Fiona, if anybody wants to contact her. I will put the details up for you and everything.
Thank you. And if
And
anyone wants to come along and join the booby bunch as well.
well, yes, I was just going to think about that.
Yeah.
That there must be people watching this who are not satisfied with the way they look and perhaps feel isolated. I certainly don't. I know people and women who've had breast cancer and recovered, but I do not know anybody outside of where we've been together who has ever talked about it. And it's not something I feel I can raise.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm wrong in that, but
I say everyone's so
usually
different with how they feel.
well, usually I wait for someone to tell me or start a conversation or throw a lead so that we can see how we go with the conversation. But I can honestly say that in all this time, no one's ever talked to me about their reconstruction and the difficulties or pressures or feelings that they've had. And you know me, that I work with loads and loads of women, and we go quite deep, but it's personal aspects like that. It's a bit like stretch marks. The only person I know who's got stretch marks would be somebody in the family who's actually told me and moaned about it.
Yeah,
I think women don't like that aspect of childbirth or operations, and they're very finely tuned to their bodies and our perception of what we look like.
With the breast cancer side, I think people, so I'm finding as I'm talking to more and more ladies, that they don't like to burden their friends and their family. They feel they've already been through enough with them, so they don't talk about it. But once they've finished treatment, that's when they need more help and more support, because everyone goes, oh, you're better now, aren't you? But no, you're not, because that 10, 15, 20 years, it's still in here. And and it still bothers you. So to be in a room with people who just get you don't have to talk about it. But eating cake and drinking coffee with a bunch of people that know exactly who you are is quite nice. Or that part of it anyway.
Just knowing that everybody else understands. I find it with bereavement. I have more experience around bereavement, and people will talk to me about that more easily. Again, it's a year later, 2 years later, when everybody thinks you're okay, you know, that you're getting on with things, and
it doesn't work that way.
Things go deep. So this is wonderful, because obviously a lot of women must be out of relationships and looking for relationships when they have their cancer, or they have a situation after their cancer where they're on their own and looking for relationships, and it does colour and influence the way they feel about entering fresh relationships. So I'm sure you're a tonic, absolute tonic.
Well, I was on my own afterwards, so I went through it all with someone not particularly supportive, and then the minute I got the all clear, he walked out. So then I was like, oh, actually, all the stuff that I'd sorted and wasn't worrying about, I've got to start again. So it is difficult. It's very difficult. But
I thought you were in the same relationship all the time. So that's that. So you know that, you understand that aspect as well. And young girls who've not even had a start in life yet, you know, or young men who've got their own issues. I'm sure it's something that should be developed much, much more, because you're the only person I know who talks about doing this. So do you know other practitioners? Obviously, you must know some who work with charities and things. But are there many?
Yeah, there's quite a few now. And some of the girls that trained with me, they've set up a little charity, that they're a bit further afield now, but they've set up a charity to raise money to be able to fund the areola tattooing, because obviously the artists need to be paid. I mean, I do at least one free every month, and most of us do that. But then there's money being raised to actually pay us to do it away from insurances. I mean, I'm covered by Bupa, and other insurances would pay me to do it for their patients. But it's not everyone's got private medical insurance, so it's just trying to close those loopholes and have it available to everybody. So there's quite a few of us working around trying to do that.
Well, sadly,
Actually,
there
part of,
must be women
yeah.
who don't know it's available.
No, it's surprising because I've known about it for a long time. You kind of think everyone knows. A lot of
Mm.
the surgeons try and do it themselves. A
All
lot of
right.
breast care nurses are trained to do it, but
Oh,
yeah, I had a lady yesterday. She'd had it done 3 times already, but on the NHS,
all right.
and it just goes.
Yeah.
They're not passionate about it. I was talking to a consultant last week, and he said, "I can do it. I have done it, but I stopped 10 years ago." He said, "Because I'm not passionate about it. It
Yeah.
irritates me." He said,
Oh,
"Why would I do it? And I could get you to do
yeah.
it."
Well, that's fair enough,
And I,
isn't it? That's fair enough.
yeah,
We're not all talented, and we're not all committed
you
to,
need the passion behind it. It takes a long time.
and
Um,
empathy,
yeah,
understanding,
yeah.
sensitivity. Yeah. So
I mean,
that's
we have a lot of time in here for like 4 hours chatting away and working. But it goes really fast because you're just chatting and you're taking the lady on a journey at the same time.
yeah.
And
I think
they
with
say, so that
yeah,
they talk a lot more, as you probably know. I mean, in here, things get said that they probably won't say anywhere else, which
yeah.
is quite nice. It's quite therapeutic in that respect as well.
Well, thank you very much then, Fiona, for telling us about what you do and sharing your lovely book with us and your story. And I hope that everybody who's watching this appreciates how much is available. If you want to contact Fiona, she can put you in touch with people in your area, I'm sure.
I have got
And
a
if
map
you
of the
want,
UK.
sorry?
Got a map of the UK of recognised artists that are good.
Oh,
So,
great. Oh, that's important.
which is helpful because some
Yeah.
aren't good. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's really important. And of course, her book, if you've been smitten by the book and Croc-Tales, like I was, I think it's comical and lovely and it's a great gift for Christmas. So
yeah.
I wish you well and
Thank
thank
you.
you, Fiona, for coming and talking to
Thank
us
you for
today.
inviting me, Victoria. It's been lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.